Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss about demographic status of rural women in India, which is a part of MRDE 101 Block 1 Unit 1. First of all, we must have to know what is meant by demographic status or what is meant by demography. Demography is a branch of study about population, including factors affecting its size and growth. It is the statistics of the population that is subjected to change in accordance with aging, birth, death, migration, etc. The main purpose of this study is to use population characteristics for policy formulation and economic resources. Here, we are going to discuss about the demographic status or population characteristics of a group of people, which is important not only for their own development but also for their children and for the society or the economy as well. The demographic status of women reflects their position in the society. It is the basis for formulating women welfare scheme for their own empowerment and gender equality. Now, in this analysis, the indicators that are discussed to know about the demographic status of Indian women are trend in population by sex, sex ratio, life expectancy at birth, mean age at marriage, total fertility rate, general fertility rate, maternal mortality rate, and anemia among women. First of all, the trend in population by sex. India is second populous country of the world with 121 crore population. Female population constitutes 48.5% of total population as per 2011 census. Here we have noticed that there is only slight increase in the share of female population from 48.1% during census 1991 to 48.3% during census 2001 and then to 48.5% in 2011. As shown in table 1, the average annual exponential growth rate of population was 1.63 in 2011, which decreased from 1.95 in 2001. Similarly, the growth rate of female population during 2011 was 1.68, which decreased from 1.99 in 2001. The growth rate of male population was 1.58 during 2011, which decreased from 1.92 in 2001. The rate of female population in their total population is almost similar both in rural and urban India as per 2011 census. During 2011 census, the rural female population constitutes 48.8% and similarly the urban female population constitutes 48.3% of their total population. Now, the next important indicator of demographic status of women is the sex ratio. It is the number of females per 1000 males. There is only marginal improvement in the sex ratio in India. During 2001, the sex ratio was 933, which increased only to 943 in 2011. The rural sex ratio also marginally increased from 946 in 2001 to 949 in 2011. Similarly, the urban sex ratio also increased from 900 to 929 during 2011. There is a gap in sex ratio in rural and urban India, which is decreasing over the decades. However, the sex ratio is least for the girl child, that is, to child up to 19 years. And the economically active age group, that is the age group 15 to 59, has 944 females to 1000 males. But on the other hand, there is 1033 females over 1000 males in the age group of 60 and above. It indicates that there is a trend of less economic activity by a sizable population. As per 2016 civil registration system, the sex ratio at birth is highest in Sikkim, followed by Andaman and Nicobar Island. The lowest sex ratio at birth is observed in Andhra Pradesh and Rajasthan. There are several factors which may distort the natural process of sex ratio. It is the human manipulation mainly which distorts the natural process of sex ratio. The preference for male child in the society also distorts the natural process. The people believe that the male child have a higher wage earning capacity. The male child continue the family line. They are generally received of inheritance, and girls are often considered as economic burden because of the dowry system, etc. There are some prenatal factors also which distorts the natural process of sex ratio. These are sex determination, sex selective abortion, etc. The distortion of sex ratio and the neglect of female side discriminates among male and female side, which leads to higher female mortality in the absence of health and nutrition care of female side. The existing Indian laws of forbidding infanticides, abandonment and neglect of female children need to be strictly enforced. There should be equal social and economic rights for males and female, which must be guaranteed by the law. The most important one is there is need of public awareness about the equal right and opportunities of female child as like the male child. Another most important factor of demographic status of women is the life expectancy at birth. It is the birth measures the average number of years a person is expected to live under prevailing mortality condition. The life expectancy at birth in 2013-17 has been 67.8 for males, but it was 70.4 for females. It indicates that life expectancy at birth for female is higher than male. The increase in life expectancy has been 0.4 years for males. It is 0.2 years for females over 2013-17 from 2012-16. The life expectancy has increased by 0.3 years and 0.2 years respectively for rural and urban areas as compared to 2012-16. There is interstate variation in the life expectancy at birth. In Uttar Pradesh, the life expectancy at birth for both rural and female will list. Similarly, life expectancy at birth is highest in Kerala for rural female, and for urban female it is highest in Himachal Pradesh. In the table 4, we have seen that there is increase in life expectancy at birth by sex during 1970-75 and 2013. By 2013-17, females have recorded higher increase in their life expectancy as compared to that of females. That is, the life expectancy at birth of female is 70.4, which is 67.8 for male. The per annum increase in life expectancy for female is 0.49, which is higher in comparison to that of males, that is 0.39. Another most important indicator of measuring demographic status of women is mean age at marriage. Marriageable age or marriage age is the minimum age at which a person is allowed by law to marry, either as a right or subject to parental, judicial and other forms of approval. In the table, we have seen that the combined mean age at marriage of Indian women is 22.2, which was 22.1 in 2015. That is, there is only marginal improvement in mean age at marriage of Indian women from 2015 to 2016. Similarly, the mean age at marriage of rural women is lower than the urban women. There is interstate difference in mean age of marriage. Highest mean age of marriage is found in Jammu and Kashmir with 24.8 years, and lowest mean age of marriage is found in West Bengal with 21 years. The mean age of marriage or the average age at which women are married assumes importance. It is because early marriage carries with it the enhanced possibility of early pregnancy and other complications. A considerable number of females are deprived of their fair chance to complete education beyond secondary and higher secondary level. It also affects the health of both mother and children. There is malnutrition, maternal mortality and child mortality due to these effects. Another most important factor of demographic status of women is total fertility rate. Total fertility rate is the average number of children a woman can expect to have in her life given the current pattern of fertility. It helps to predict population growth or decline. In the table, we have seen that in different national family health survey, the total fertility rate is decreasing. That is, there is a declining or decreasing trend of total fertility rate in India. The total fertility rate declined by 1.2 children from 1992-93 to 2015-16. That is, during 1992-93, that is during National Family Health Survey 1, total fertility rate was 3.4, which decreased to 2.2 during National Family Health Survey 4 or 2015-16. In all National Family Health Survey, irrespective of place of residence, the fertility rate peaks at age 20 to 24, after which it declines steadily. The total fertility rate of rural women is higher than urban women. Fertility rate decreases with higher level of educational attainment for women, increased mobility, late marriage, independent women, etc. The Indian government's sample registration system shows that total fertility rate for India declined to 2.2 in 2017 after being stable at 2.3 between 2013 and 2016. The total fertility rate is 2.2 during 2017, which is just 0.1 more than the replacement level of 2.1. Now the replacement level means the amount of fertility needed to keep the population the same from generation to generation. It indicates that the total fertility rate of India during 2017 is 2.2, which is approaching towards the replacement level. There is implication of this total fertility rate approaching to the replacement level, because the decrease in fertility rate below the replacement level is also likely to have an adverse impact on the future population composition and workforce participation rate, especially for women. It indicates that there is need of stable population for the growth of the economy. Another most important factor relating to total fertility rate is general fertility rate. Estimates of general fertility rate, a refined measure of fertility, being defined as the number of live births per 1,000 women in the reproductive age group 15 to 49 years, is a useful tool of measuring fertility. In the table, we have seen that the total general fertility rate of Indian women is 74.4, and the rural general fertility rate is higher than the urban fertility rate. Most important measure of demographic status of rural women is the maternal mortality rate. Maternal mortality rate is the number of maternal deaths to women age group 15 to 49 per 1 lakh live birth. It is based on the annual number of females death occurred during childbirth or within 2 months after the end of a pregnancy or childbirth. In the table, we have noticed that maternal mortality rate in India decreased from 130 during 2014-16 to 122 during 2015-17. The maternal mortality rate in India is still higher to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal of 70 deaths per 1 lakh live births for the world by 2030. India accounts 17% of global burden of maternal deaths. Karnataka is the state in which there is highest decline in maternal mortality rate. On the other hand, there is 15-point increase in maternal mortality rate in states like Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Two other states, Assam and Rajasthan, also far behind the target of Sustainable Development Goal. There is also differences in rural and urban areas regarding maternal mortality rate due to healthcare facilities available. As per National Family Health Survey 4, only 16.7% of women in rural India receive full antenatal care, which is about half the women in urban areas. Moreover, overall 70% of rural births are now supervised and compared to 89% in urban areas. There are lots of factors which may contribute to maternal mortality rate. These are lack of education, frequent pregnancies, lack of reproductive right to women, non-institutional delivery, patriarchal society, unsafe abortion, poor health infrastructure, etc. Another most important measure of demographic status of women is anemia among women. Anemia is characterized by a low level of hemoglobin in the blood. Iron deficiency anemia usually results from a nutritional deficiency of iron, folate, vitamin B12 or some other nutrients. Anemia is widespread among both women and young children in India. In the table, we have seen that during National Family Health Survey 3, the anemia among women was 55.8, which decreased slightly to 53 during National Family Health Survey 4. Anemia is highly prevalent among rural women and lowest wealth quintiles. Anemia decreases with increased level of education, wealth of the household, and economic empowerment of women. In the table, we have seen that the anemia among rural women is slightly higher than urban women. Now we reach to the conclusion. In conclusion, we can say that the demographic status of women have serious repercussion on cognitive development of child because the low demographic status of women at a reproductive age group results low birth weight babies, which have led to intergenerational growth failure, as well as it has long-run adverse impact on economic growth. There is need to address all demographic factors of women very carefully. There is also need of measures like reducing regional disparities and reducing inequalities among rural and urban women. The improved socioeconomic status of both rural and urban women is important. There must be equal opportunities to women as like men, and there should not be any gender inequalities. Education is the most important weapon through which women can become economically empowered and able to develop their demographic status. Moreover, health and nutrition facilities must to improve demographic status of Indian women. Thank you.